Have you ever wondered what it really meant to be a princess in one of the world's greatest empires? Imagine, it's your wedding night, you're only 13, and the whole empire is watching, not to celebrate your happiness, but to judge your worth. Behind the walls of golden palaces, Ottoman princesses faced a secret terror that no fairy tale ever told. Tonight isn't about love. It's about survival. And what happens behind those silk curtains will decide the fate of an entire empire. What if I told you? The most privileged girls in history were also the most afraid. Imagine you're 13, dressed in gold and silk, standing in a candlelit palace filled with powerful people. It's your wedding day, supposedly the happiest day of your life. But you're not smiling. Tonight, you will be alone with a man you barely know, 3 times your age. And whatever happens behind those closed doors will define your entire future. You're not just a princess. You're a pawn in the most powerful empire in the world. And tonight, your body isn't just your own, it's a tool for political power. In the Ottoman Empire, royal daughters were not born for luxury or love. They were born as living treaties, tools to build alliances, avoid wars, and keep powerful men loyal to the sultan. Every part of their upbringing, from learning poetry and music to mastering court etiquette, was designed to make them valuable as marriage assets. Their fate was decided before they could even speak. The wedding itself was not a celebration of love, but a display of imperial power. For weeks, servants would parade treasures, carpets, jewelry, clothing, all to show off the princess's value. But the most prized possession wasn't gold or gems. It was her virginity. Ottoman society put such a high value on purity that a princess's worth was literally measured by whether her hymen was intact. The dowry wasn't just about wealth, it was proof of the family's honor. Many princesses were married as children, sometimes as young as 5 or 6. While consummation was usually delayed until they were physically mature, these girls grew up with a dark cloud over their heads, knowing that their entire worth depended on how they performed in the marriage bed. Imagine being a child, watching others graduate to adulthood, knowing exactly what was coming for you. Years of waiting, dreading, and preparing for a moment that would decide your fate. Take Fatma Sultan, daughter of Sultan Ahmed III. She was married at just 5 to a 42-year-old military commander. For 7 years, she lived in anticipation and fear, knowing what awaited her. If her husband died, she was married off again. The cycle continued, each time with new expectations and new anxieties. The wedding night itself took place in specially prepared rooms, with guards and servants waiting just outside, listening for signs of consummation. Failure wasn't just embarrassing. It could mean disaster for the family's honor, for political alliances, even for the princess's life. And the next morning brought another horror, proof of consummation. Blood-stained sheets became legal documents, sometimes examined by palace officials and even foreign diplomats. If a princess couldn't provide proof, she could be accused of not being a virgin, which was considered political treason. The consequences could be devastating. Because the pressure was so intense, a whole industry developed in the palace, advisors and older women teaching princesses how to perform on their wedding night, even how to fake evidence. Some used animal blood or sharp objects hidden in their clothing to create the necessary proof. Failure could mean annulment, disgrace, or even quiet disappearance from palace life. Her fate sealed, her story erased. Marriage didn't mean freedom. Ottoman princesses often outranked their husbands and could refuse intimacy, but this so-called power was another trap. Every aspect of their marriage was monitored. Servants spied, documented, and reported everything. How the couple got along, whether the princess was pregnant, even details of her monthly cycle. Privacy was impossible. Even in her own household, a princess was never truly alone. A princess's main job was to produce sons who could strengthen political alliances. Failure to conceive quickly led to suspicion and shame. Palace doctors tried desperate, sometimes dangerous treatments. Miscarriages or stillbirths were blamed entirely on the woman. Each month without pregnancy became a public disappointment. The psychological cost was immense. Many princesses developed what today we'd call complex trauma or PTSD. But in the empire, their pain was seen as weakness or rebellion. Some became manipulators, learning to survive by playing the political game. Others broke down under the pressure. Almost none found true happiness. Even the most powerful women were deeply isolated, trapped by privilege that was just another form of prison.